going on here.
All right. And Anna, you're doing the four-way test?
The four-way test?
Or well, you're
I can do that, but I was going to do the prayer this morning.
The prayer, yes. That, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
All right. Yes, sounds good.
The four-way we do together, right?
Yes.
You just gave her a heart attack there.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I think I did.
Was I presenting on the four-way today?
Yeah, what does a four-way test mean to me?
She's not even on the committee.
Right. Yeah. No.
That would be right, Marcia.
There you go. Welcome, everybody. It's good morning. 7:02. We're going to start our meeting. Good morning, Valerie. All right, Phil, you guys ready for your Rotary for trivia?
Yes, when you're ready for us.
All right. Don't forget to share your sound once you start that up.
Okay, I'll do my best.
All right. Okay, John, if we could start, that'd be great. Thank you, sir. Welcome, everybody. It's 7:03. Welcome to our virtual club meeting for May 26, 2021 for the Harleysville Rotary Club, the Rotary Club of Harleysville. We normally start our meetings with the Pledge of Allegiance. If we can start with the flag. And I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which it stands,
one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty
and justice for all. And as Rotarians, we try to live our lives through the four-way test. And that is the four-way test of the things that we should think, say, and do in our everyday lives. And that is, one, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And today, with our prayer, is going to be Anna Holtzman.
Good morning, everyone. Lord, as Rotarians, help us always to be patient and kind. Help us not to be boastful, envious, or proud. Protect us from being rude, self-seeking, or easily angered. Teach us not to keep records of wrongs or to delight in evil, but show us the benefits in dealing in the truth. Inspire us to spread peace, hope, and perseverance in helping mankind in our community and throughout the world. Amen.
Amen. All right. And moving, we actually, this is the last month for the district's public image campaign. And this month's video, it's actually for the May video. I tried to play it in the beginning of the month, but since this is the last week in May, I figured I'd play this. It's a 5-minute video. So here we go. Thanks a lot, John.
Doylestown Rotary Club has provided me with many opportunities. I began by organizing social events for our club, and then the leadership team asked me to be the program's co-chair, which I thoroughly enjoyed. It allowed me to connect with people who wanted to make a difference for our community. COVID-19, of course, changed everything. We actually became more strongly engaged and talked with our local businesses and our local nonprofits. And today, we are now currently reviving our Doylestown at Dusk car show, which in the past has drawn thousands of spectators and helped us to raise thousands of dollars for local nonprofits and charities in our community. And as part of that show's executive committee, it's a pleasure to see that we're actually on such a great path forward to building an invigorated community spirit. As the newly appointed vice president for our club, it's very important we continue on our mission to improve our local and global impacts. Thank you, and thank you, Rotary.
In August of 2003, Rotary opened an opportunity for service. They ignited the passion within me to help those who needed wheelchairs for mobility. Rotary introduced me to Maria, a woman crippled at birth who was wheeled into Mexico City on a hand truck to sell shoe polish. Without a wheelchair, crawling was her only mobility. Through Rotary, she received a new wheelchair and her life changed immediately. I knew at that moment that I wanted to help more Marias gain their freedom. The Rotary Foundation enables any Rotarian with passion to make a difference in our world. Through Rotary, I raised money to purchase over 2,200 wheelchairs for those in Argentina, Bosnia, and Herzegovina. I delivered 280 wheelchairs in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and returned 2 years later with another 1,100 wheelchairs for the city of Mendoza. While I may have given the gift of a wheelchair to many, it was the gift I received from Rotary that stays with me to this day. I will never forget this incredible project, the lives I touched, and the way Rotary changed my life. Allow Rotary to spark the passion within you. You'll find Rotary partners all over the world, financial support from the foundation, and memories that will last a lifetime.
I am a proud Rotarian of Newtown Club in Pennsylvania. I have a story to tell. It goes 10 years ago when we moved from Mississippi and we started our own practice, and we were trying to invite Mr. Mayor of the area to do the ribbon cutting. We left several messages and we could not get hold of him. In the meantime, I also joined the Rotary Club in Langhorne. That was my first club. And when I went there for my first meeting, surprisingly, I saw Mr. Mayor there as a member. And I was shocked. And I was so happy to see him. I told him that we were trying to get hold of you. And he was very happy to come for our ribbon cutting. So that's what Rotary is. Rotary is service above self. My most favorite event is food drive, and I always try to get time for my busy schedule to help with the food drive. We were there 2-3 days ago, and we were able to collect a lot of food for people. What I love about Rotary is caring, sharing, and we save lives. We communicate, we collaborate, we connect. And there's no I. That's what I love about Rotary, service above self. And I am a very proud member of Rotary Club.
Hi, my name is Tony Brochu from the Conowisa Rotary. Joined Rotary 3 years ago. Lived in the Conowisa area for 27 plus years. Conowisa Rotary is located in western Berks County, out in beautiful farmland, country land. Spent 21 years in different organizations and associations throughout the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and have found that the Rotary is more community oriented, helping the community grow, being part of the growth. Here at Conowisa Rotary, we're looking to grow our Rotary and be a more community oriented and vast membership. So I'm looking to help with that, and coming on board as the president-elect of this year, I'd like to be part of that plan, part of the growth. So let's grow Rotary.
We started out this year with an understanding that every Rotarian has a story. And over the course of this year, we have heard many stories from Rotarians throughout our district, stories that have informed us about all the wonderful work that you're doing in your communities, and stories that have inspired us to be better. So I thank you for the stories that have been told, and I encourage you to keep telling those stories, because when people hear the stories of what Rotary means to you, they will want to join us and be part of this wonderful work that we do.
And that has been a great campaign. That has been a great campaign for showing why you come to these meetings, like why you guys wake up so early to come to a 7 o'clock meeting. Some of those stories are very amazing. So moving on, if you could stop the share, John, one of the things that brought me to Rotary was actually this next segment, which is Rotary Trivia. So we have our host, Phil Janke.
Okay. Let me see if I get this thing up. I'm not seeing it on my, hold on.
All right. Well, while we're working through this technical glitch,
Yeah.
On June 9th, we're actually going to be on a different link. So the next couple of weeks, guys, double check your emails. There's going to be an email for the June 9th meeting where you would click to register. You just put in your email address and register yourself in for that one. That's going to be a district-wide meeting. So June 9th is going to be a different link. I'll try to remind you next week as well. All right, go ahead, Phil.
Okay. Alrighty, Larry, if you would, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, wherever you may be, we are pleased to bring you another exciting edition of Rotary Trivia. Join us as one lucky contestant will play to win a fabulous grand prize by showing us what they know about Rotary. I'm your announcer, Larry Moss, here with your host, Phil Jenkins.
Hey, welcome, Larry. Welcome. Hey, let's get started by telling the audience about today's grand prize.
I'll ask the audience to direct their attention to their screens. Today's contestant will be playing for a Wawa gift card. Wawa is your all-day, everyday convenience store with breakfast, lunch, and dinner with built-to-order foods, trademark, and beverages, coffee, fuel services, and so much more. The Wawa gift card is sure to put a smile on anyone's face, including yours. With no associated fees or expiration date, retail value of today's grand prize is $5.
Oh, wow. Well, you know what, Larry, as well, I figured if our contestant doesn't want the gift card, they can return it to Wawa. They probably won't get cash, but they'll give them store credit.
Good.
Yeah, anyway, how about introducing today's contestant?
Today's contestant was selected at random from our cyber audience just moments ago. This Rotarian has all the skill, knowledge, and cunning to answer today's question and will soon be dealing with the card. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause to Valerie Asma.
Oh!
Hey.
All right. Oh. Welcome, Valerie. Welcome. I assume you're there somewhere. I don't see you on my screen, but that's okay.
There.
I'm here.
Okay, terrific. Terrific. Well, we'll see what you know about Rotary this morning. Okay, here we go. Today's question. How can Rotary clubs achieve Rotary's Promise Club status? This is a new status put out there by Rotary. So how do you become Rotary's Promise Club? It's 100% club support of the Rotary Foundation endowment. Annually, do service in all 7 areas of focus. Grow membership with diversity, equity, and inclusion. By promising to pay their RI dues. So I don't know, what do you think? Now, I will remind you, there are lifelines out there. We can give you a 50-50, ask the audience, or ask a friend. This is a tricky question, no doubt.
Well, you said it's new. I think I want to do ask the audience.
Ask the audience. All right, this is always a good one, how we find that out. But you know what? I'm not sure how I'll find out. Maybe there's some way to see that. But audience, how many think it's 100% support of the Rotary Endowment? Of course, I get no response. How about all areas of focus?
B.
Oh, okay. Looks like there's a couple. Of the 6 people I see on my screen, I have
I
2.
see B.
Okay. How about the GROW membership with diversity, equity, and inclusion?
I see
C.
1.
Yep.
I see 2 on C, 3 on C.
Okay. And how about the clubs just promise to pay their dues? Yeah, just our club treasurer. That's it. The only one that voted for that one.
Here?
I couldn't 100% tell. I'm thinking the audience is thinking maybe it's C, the GROW membership.
Yeah.
I saw 2 said C.
Okay.
I think I'm going to go with
where do we
C.
vote?
Oh,
Where
Valerie,
is
you
that
said
vote
C.
column? I don't know. I'm not in charge of the technical piece. But now, let me look at you.
I think it's C.
Square in the eye. I can see you now on my screen, Valerie.
Contestant said C.
Yeah, see. Yeah, let's look at this. Valerie A, I am asking you to pick an answer.
No
Hey.
hints. Oh, wait, Valerie A. Valerie A.
Valerie A.
Valerie, what's your last name?
Valerie A.
Valerie A.
I think
That
C.
was a hint. That was a hint, Valerie.
A, Valerie.
Okay, I'm going to go with A.
Valerie A.
Gift
Yes.
card.
A gift card. Valerie.
Yeah. Oh.
So excited.
Yeah, you're so I was just so excited that I didn't know, to win this gift card. All
She
right.
couldn't see it.
Final answer. There you go.
Hey.
All right. Let's see what it's not. Okay. Obviously, we're all going to pay the dues, every club. And then also, you know what? It's something we'd all like to do. So is it to grow membership with the DEI, or is it the support of the endowment? It is correct. You are absolutely correct. You
Wow.
are in every way.
A lot of
You
work
are
for
a winner.
$5.
So let's see. But as always, but wait, there's more. Oh boy, if I can almost read this around my all the things on my screen. It says, what is Rotary's Promise Club? Rotary achieving 100% member support of the endowment are eligible to be designated as a Rotary's Promise Club. The principle of the contribution to the endowment is never spent, and the available earnings are used to make lasting differences in people's lives. This strategy supports Rotary causes today while generating funds that will further the work of future Rotarians committed to doing good work in the world. So really, and what that means is it's a commitment by clubs. It's an outright gift by members or a commitment of a gift. I mean, it could be something that you might leave or you over time a little bit of $1,000 or more to the endowment. But that money goes to the endowment, and it just keeps providing and giving and giving. And if you go and I know it's a little bit small, but if you go to actually make a donation to the Rotary Foundation, what will come up, there are 4 actual sort of opportunities. One is that comes up really first is the annual fund that we all know about. And of course, Polio Plus, you can donate from that standpoint. And then get to the end. There's also the environment, which is part of, I say environment, but the 7 areas of focus. You can be very specific and say, I want this to go to a water and sanitation program. And you can also support, if you look, it's a 4th option down there, a specific grant. If you know the grant number, if your club is doing a grant somewhere, you can support directly. What they're really looking for the Rotary's Promise Club is a donation to the endowment and the endowment share. And those funds do come back. They come back to the district to help support the causes and things of that nature. So it is a great opportunity to think about it, no matter where you actually give to the Rotary Foundation. It's worthwhile. It's top of the Charity Navigator. It's something like 92 or 94, I forget what it is, % of the funds go back. It's very well managed, and that's why it is that way. But anyway, Valerie, you are a winner, and I will have this. I will drop this through. I guess I'll drop it through the drive-through at the bank. And if it was like my dad, I'd say don't spend it all in one place, but that's not likely. But anyway, well, thanks for playing Rotary Trivia.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Woo, congratulations. Congratulations there, Valerie. All right.
Yay, Valerie.
Yes. And
Make sure
our
you get
next,
that here before lunch.
There you go.
What day?
Today.
Yeah, it's
I'll have it
such
right
a,
over there.
it's such a far trip for you, Phil. I don't know. Can you make it?
Yeah,
All
on my
right.
way to the post office, I'll swing by.
There you go.
I'll slip it
Excellent.
under the door.
Congratulations. Are you guys, is your door unlocked now, Valerie? Or are you still doing drive-through only?
I'll let you in if you knock, but it's
There you
locked.
go. Oh, there you go. All right. But congratulations. And moving on to our next segment, our speaker is actually someone that's familiar with the club. I had unmuted Jerry. Jerry, do you want to introduce our speaker?
Sure, Dan, I'll be glad to. Well, club members, I'd like you to meet Barbara Janson, who works for the Lower Salford Police Department. And she has been running the Toys for Tots in our area for the last few years. So Barbara, if you want to explain what you do and how you do it, be glad to listen to you. Welcome.
Thank you. And thank you for having me. It's an honor. Basically, we created our territory, which seems to increase every year. And the program actually starts October 1st. That's basically just the gearing up process. The foundation ships each coordinator their supplies they need, the boxes that you see out in the distribution centers. And I personally have a list of all my donation drop-off points. Verify every year with them that they want to continue to do it. We deliver the boxes, get them in place. I haven't put them out as early as I used to because people don't really want to think about Christmas at the beginning of November. So we wait a little bit, put them out like mid-November. They stay out in the drop-off locations till about the second week of December. Sporadically, we will check the boxes. If they get full, we'll bring the toys in. In the past, all the toys have come into the Lower Salford Township Police Department. And before I go any further with that, I've got to give my sincere thanks and appreciation to the police department for supporting me out of the police department to run this campaign for 20 years. It's grown so big, it takes a lot of work, a lot of effort. A lot of my time in November and December is spent on Toys for Tots, and they in turn help cover my duties at the police department. So not everybody's willing to do that. But it's enjoyable. When I get orders, there is on my website, families in need can sign up to receive toys. I do have specific organizations that I've been dealing with for several years that are child oriented. So they work with families that they know the children need things. I have tons of donors, which I appreciate so much, including the Rotary Club. And I process the orders. As toys come in, I start pulling the orders. And for individual families, we will set up a distribution date, and the families come to me and get their toys and take them. They're usually packaged for them. Some of the agencies I deal with abused children, developmentally challenged children, pediatric homes. I deal with Maternity Care Coalition for mothers that need help learning about raising children and need the financial assistance. I deal with Montgomery County Health and Human Services, which has many different branches of families that they work with. I did pick up a recovery center last year. I have an adoptive parents associations, and I will always take in anybody, even if they're not in my immediate region, that may be the victim of house fires, floods. I've had someone that had emergency custody of their grandchildren at the last minute and had no toys whatsoever. So it's a big process, but I've got to say in 20 years that I've been doing this, the tears that are shed by the family members and the joy they show, and knowing that I am helping those kids have a little bit happier Christmas that they wouldn't otherwise have, is really what it's all about. There's a great amount of people that are coordinators. We help each other if one of us needs help. If we don't have toys we need, we can call another coordinator and get toys from them. So we share information. And it actually runs pretty easily if you go by what the foundation requires. As I said, it is a lot of work. You have to be very, very strict with your record keeping. We do weekly reports of number of toys that came in, number of toys that went out. At the end of the campaign, I have to actually take an inventory of every toy I have, box them up. We mark the boxes with the number of toys, and they have official toy auditors that come out to every coordinator's facility and double count your toys. And they're very strict about the numbers. So you want your inventory to be good. You want it to match within a few toys of theirs. Every year I've had auditors come out. My numbers have been perfect. So I'm very concerned about that. I take pride in making sure I get my information to the foundation that they need. My territory does, like I said, seem to keep growing. Last year was very rough with COVID, as I'm sure everybody experienced in whatever they did. I basically ran the campaign by myself last year, and it was long hours. I was tired. Without volunteers, it makes it hard on a coordinator because you're doing everything. And my campaign brings in so many toys the last 3 weeks of Christmas, and I'm overwhelmed. And at times you think you're never going to get through the mountains of toys, but we do. We get it done. So I'm hoping this year we do have a new warehouse that was graciously donated to me. So I'm hoping this year we can get some volunteers. The warehouse is not at the police station. It's in Sellersville, so it's a little bit further of a drive, but you can't turn down donations. We no longer could work out of the police station. So if I wouldn't have gotten the donation of warehouse space, we were very close to shutting down the foundation. And that would have been about 10,000 children that would have lost out. So I'm very grateful we have that. I'm looking forward to another great year. And I can't wait to start. Is there anybody have any questions?
Yes, Barbara, I have a question for you. With this COVID now, I know that you were collecting toys and we had this conversation before back in, I guess, November, whenever we presented the check to you. But I thought that you had mentioned that some of the children were now needing clothes also. Is that still the case?
Some of them do. I don't put that out there as a main item for Toys for Tots because unfortunately you get a lot of used clothes. Toys for Tots only accepts brand new toys, and I will accept brand new clothing. What I do with them, unless the family tells me they need clothing, that will usually go to the county agencies that service the children. But I will take them if they're new, you know, especially like infant and little kids' clothes. I have gotten them, and it's great for a family in need. So.
Okay.
Excellent. I know that we are helping with the campaign in October. Is Dean on? Dean or someone from that committee? You guys let the club know what we're doing with Toys for Tots for the parade?
Dan, I don't know if Dean's on this morning, but
Yeah, I'm here.
okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
In the past, we worked with the Marines. And Barbara, are you connected with them also? Is it run through the Marines, the Toys for Tots?
Well, it is a Marine foundation. The unfortunate part is that all of the Marines are now in Virginia. There's no current Marine bases or, corps that are in this area anymore. We did used to have some Marines march in the Halloween parade and collect toys along the route. That stopped a long time ago when they shut down the base in Willow Grove. We do have a hard time getting actual active Marines to come to functions, or help with our campaigns. So most of the coordinators outside of Virginia rely on the public to help.
There's a person up in the Pennsburg area that he was taking the lead when we collected for the Marines. I'll reach out to him to see if he's still doing that, and then we can coordinate our efforts.
Yeah, I don't know if you're referring to Howard Quinn.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Howard was my mentor, basically, when I started as a coordinator. Howard gave me so much help. He trained me in a lot of things. He and I still work together, even though he is not the coordinator in Red Hill anymore. So yeah, I know him well. I don't think that that they are even involved in any public events anymore. They're all, a lot of them have, they're older. They don't want to get involved in too much. It's enough for them to just can't handle the campaign. The Halloween parade was actually through Howard. He did it for me. And I'm sure if I asked him, he would come. I don't know how big his campaign is anymore, how many Marines are actually involved in it anymore. Excuse me.
So I guess with that in mind, had we worked with Barbara to coordinate the parade itself, the efforts that we had talked briefly about doing something during the parade? Is there a Dean, would you like to connect with Barbara to see how we can still help contribute with that?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, all right. I believe,
That's great.
All right, that'd be great. And Jerry, if you can share, or Barbara, if you can share your information with the club, that'd be amazing. I'll connect you with Dean's committee. There was a conversation about possibly doing a collection box or two during the route. So I guess if we'd have to coordinate to make all that happen. How else can Rotary help your organization?
Well, we always need volunteers. Like I said, last year, COVID, I couldn't bring people in, especially being the police department. We were basically on lockdown here. If people were willing to go up to the new warehouse space in Sellersville, I really need volunteers, like from the beginning of December. That's when it's really heavy. And I know people are involved in their own Christmas plans, getting ready. But every little bit helps. The main thing I need to stress with volunteers is not to be mean, but it's not a party. You've got to concentrate and pay attention to what you're doing, because if you're unpacking toys, you have got to count those toys as you unpack them. I found out that if there's a lot of people and they get talking or laughing, numbers get mixed up really fast. But what we'll do is bring the toys in. First, you have to empty the boxes, sort them by age groups, and count them and record them. But even emptying boxes and sorting is a help. That's a lot. It's a big process.
Yes.
So, I mean, if I'm always open to volunteers.
Excellent.
So,
Excellent.
okay. I'm sorry. Toys will still come into the police department, but we're not going to have them down in those big garages. As Dan, I think you were over here. You saw what it looked like.
Yes. Yeah. That was amazing.
As the toys come in here, if they get to be in abundance, then we'll pull them out of here and take them up to the warehouse so they're out of the way here. So we want to do most of our sorting and stuff at the warehouse.
Right. Okay, Marcia, you had something?
Oh, yes, I had a question. If you are given specific toy requests and say maybe it might be for something larger, I imagine you probably get a lot of small toys, but if you have something larger, how do we find out about that so people can help or help to supply or get a group of people maybe to pull some money together to go buy that larger item?
Okay, I have had that in the past, especially with, as I said, people that are victims of house fires or domestic abuse that are leaving a home in a hurry and have nothing, or disabled children that maybe can't play with normal toys. They need specific toys to help with their development. I use donation money to buy toys that I don't have or I don't need. Or I have a very generous donor that came to me 2 years ago, and every year he donates more and more. And last year I had several families in need that needed specific toys. Just for instance, high chairs, diapers, toys that the kids really, really wanted, but they could afford. And he and his wife generously went shopping. They love to shop. So they would go buy what I needed. They spent over $30,000 last year on my campaign. And he is a metal craft worker, and he makes items, and these groups of metal craft workers, they put them out for bid, and that's the money he raised with what he made, and he spent it on my campaign. Next year, he already told me he's going for $75,000, which, like I said, I've now got, finally, after years of service, money in the bank that I have a backup to get what those people need, what those kids need. And if I don't, he goes and gets it for me. I did have a child last year that was disabled, and all he wanted for Christmas was the new Xbox, and you couldn't get them anywhere. They were sold out everywhere. With his connections, he managed to get one. And we got the greatest thank you from his mom. And it made both of us cry over the joy that it brought her child. So, if there's something that is really, really more expensive, I will reach out to different organizations and stuff and see if we can come up with it. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Phil? Valerie, Phil, then Valerie.
Are there toys out there that are less preferred? Oftentimes I hear like no plush toys, or has it come to today that you don't want toy guns and things of that nature? Or
there are some agencies that work with children that will not accept guns or weapons of any kind. I know those agencies, so we don't pull those toys. I have not gotten any comments from families that they did not want like Nerf guns or something like that. The foundation does not want us to accept anything that's more of a weapon related thing, like a BB gun or pretend knives, things like that. But usually I mean, toys are pretty standard. The hardest part is not getting the toys we need. And that's mostly for the older children. We really have a hard time with the kids that are mostly 8 years we go up to 16 years of age, 16, 17. So that's the hardest age group that we have getting toys for. And that's where my campaign money will go mostly, is buying toys for those kids. 0 to 2 age can be difficult at times. Everybody likes to buy the 3 to 5. They're the cute little, kids, and they're cheaper. They feel like they get more for their money. But every coordinator that I know of will never ever have a shortage of toys for 3 to 5 years of age. We have thousands. You cannot even get rid of them. It's the age group that people think of when you think of Christmas, those little kids and the joy on their faces. As far as specific toys, we haven't heard any information through the foundation of things they didn't want. Some organizations are no longer accepting, like the stuffed animals. So if I get that, I make a note of that in my records so that that foundation or that organization doesn't get them. But we still deliver. Every other organization will get stuffed animals, stocking stuffers, unless they say no. So
that's great. Valerie?
Hi, Barbara. First of all, thank you so much. I love your heart. And I have a similar question. I wanted to know, even in those age groups, is there like a list that would be put out to help people that want to donate get those types of gifts? And what would be those preferred items?
Yes, actually last year I created a list because I was getting that message. Usually when I put out press releases in the beginning of the year to the local media, I will address the age groups where I'm short on toys. But I did have people call, especially for the older children, and say, can you give me some ideas? So I have a list, and I can pass that list to anybody, and it's up to, feel free to donate what you want. Like I said, it's getting easier with my campaign, getting more well-known as far as monetary donations. So that gives me that cushion. But I will give that list to anybody that asks. I even had a daycare ask me last year because they wanted to see if parents of the children in the daycare would donate. And they wanted to specifically target the older children. So we gave them the list and they did well. So I can gladly share that list with you guys.
I was going to mention that. Do you collect throughout the year, or is it just between October and December?
It is just during the campaign period. The foundation has specific dates when the campaign starts and when the campaign ends.
Okay. And yes, that would be good, especially if you send the list and let us know when you're starting to accept it. Maybe we can do like we're collecting from July 1st to October the 15th or something like that. So we'll know what the deadline is. And then yes, if that's something that we could work on, that would be amazing.
I would let you get that information.
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Barbara,
go ahead, Marcia.
Do you ever have leftover toys at the end of the season? And if yes, where do they go, or do they get stored for next year?
Okay, well, in the last few years, thank goodness, yes, I have an actual inventory. And that's great because it helps me start pulling orders for the following year before the campaign even starts. Otherwise, I would have to wait until closer to Christmas and I would get no sleep whatsoever. So in the last couple of years, I have built up an inventory. As of today, my current inventory of toys is 8,400. Most of them are age 3 to 5. So what we do is most campaigns hopefully have an inventory. Before mine grew this large, when I needed toys to start filling orders, Howard Quinn from Red Hill came to my rescue because they had been doing it for much longer. They had an inventory. So we would go to his storage unit and pull the toys needed. Now he's coming to me. So that was the reason we needed warehouse space. 8,400 toys is a lot of toys, and a lot of toys for Tots boxes when they're packed and stacked. And again, that's the reason for the toy auditors to come in, so that the foundation has a record of what each campaign has, what they've distributed, and what they have left for each year. The campaign will send toys from their toy distributors to each coordinator every year if you don't have an inventory. They order toys and they just ship them right to you. So you never know what you're getting, but they at least give you a start out. My campaign has grown so much that I no longer need to take those toys from the foundation. They go to other coordinators that need them.
Chuck, did you have something?
No, I was just, I'm really impressed by this. It's amazing.
Barbara?
Jerry,
Yes.
go ahead. Jerry, then Larry, and then Randy. Go ahead.
Would you be so kind before this ends to share with us your contact information? I know I have it, and I know Dan has it, but Marshall will put it in our weekly newsletter, and also the address and the times that the warehouse would be open, so that if we have anybody that wants to volunteer, they'll know when that they can go there.
Okay. I will have to put that together and like email it to you. I'm still in the process of setting up that warehouse. I will also be getting a cell phone specifically for my Toys for Tots campaign. So that's the number that I would need anybody to call on. And it's also a matter of coordinating it with the police department of what days during the week when I should be working that I'm at the warehouse in Sellersville. So, but I'll make sure I get all that information to you.
That'd be great.
That's great. Great. We have Larry, then Randy, and we'll have to end after Randy. Larry?
Hi, Barb. Larry Moss. I was just interested in the magnitude of this program. Does this cover the entire United States, or is it just sort of regional, or how does that work?
Toys for Tots Foundation is the entire United States, and it's overseas. Wherever they can have people volunteer to set up campaigns, they basically support them. I was kind of dumbfounded when I realized that they had campaigns overseas. I never knew that before. So they're worldwide, really. They, where there are a lot of places that are not covered. And that's basically because they can't get coordinators. Like I said, it's around here anymore. It's all volunteers, everyday people like us, to become coordinators because there are no Marines. So we really wish we would get Marines back here, but they're all in Virginia. So anybody that wants to become a coordinator goes through the training in Virginia. It's an actual 4-day training process, and it's pretty intense. It's long days. But, it's fairly easy once you get the hang of it. It's just time consuming. So if you're not willing to dedicate the time, you guys know what that is about, with the Rotary. It's time. If you're willing to donate your time and your effort, then everything else falls into place.
Exactly. Randy? Oh, you just muted yourself. Randy, you're muted. There you go.
Hi, Barb. It's Randy Floyd from Telford, PD.
Hi, Randy. How are you?
I'm okay. First of all, thank you for doing this. I knew the PD over there was involved. I did not know that you were the driving force and that it was so involved. So I appreciate that. And I only have one question. How do you keep Sergeant O'Connell from playing with all the dolls and toys when they're there?
I gotta tell you, he's not the only one that plays with them.
But thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Thanks again for joining us, Barbara. That was an amazing presentation. My wheels are turning, and I want to talk to the committees about possibly ways that we can help. Great job. All right.
Thanks.
I see red hearts.
Thanks,
Yes, go ahead, Barb.
Thank you.
All right. That was great. That was great. And thanks again, everybody. Another great presenter. I have a few things that I wanted to announce just on upcoming events. And Mark, when you're ready, let me know about speakers. I'm going to start with events. I see Whack and Roll for June 5th. I don't have a time, but Whack and Roll June 5th. And June 9th, as I mentioned earlier, is going to be the DEI presentation. We're one of the first clubs to host the DEI, doing a presentation on how to become a welcoming club. And in order for us to join that meeting, it's going to be our regular meeting, but it's at a different address. So there'll be a registration page. You click on it, you just put your email address and maybe put Harleysville and then hit enter, and you'll be in the meeting at 7 o'clock on the 9th. And June 15th is kind of the same thing, but that's with Quakertown. Quakertown's meeting is normally Tuesday at 7:30. So if you just happen to be up on Tuesday at 7 something, join Quakertown for another conversation with the DEI on June 15th. June 29th is the district changeover. I believe they are doing a hybrid. So that's in person in the Allentown area. I cannot remember the name of the town that it's in, but in the Allentown area will be the district changeover on the 29th. And on June, okay, go ahead.
Makunji.
Thank you. Makunji is where the district changeover is going to be. Thank you. Was that John?
John Mertz. Yeah.
Thank you. All right. Our vice president. All right. Yesterday we had our president-elects and president meeting, and John, who's neither, has been to at least 5 of our meetings, which is amazing. That means you guys are in for a treat for the next couple of years. So thanks, John. And June 30th is our changeover. We're going to do our changeover. I'm going to do my best to make it a hybrid, but it's going to be in person at Reed Park. Bud Moats was able to secure Reed Park for us for June 30th for our changeover, which will be our June 30th at 7 a.m. at Reed Park. I'll make sure we have an announcement about that and try to get there early enough so we can set the tech up so that for those that can't make it out there, they'll be able to zoom in. And then I have August 20th is the Big Red Rooster Scramble. Tickets will be available on June 1st. All right, there may be a few more events that I may have missed, but Mark, do you have any meeting announcements?
Here's what I want. I want to put out a request because I had been scheduling way in advance. I had 2 months in advance. So I sat back and relaxed, and I relaxed too long. I have June wide open, except the June 9th one that you're saying. So we have not had members doing their classification talks. So if we have some new members who have not yet done classification talks, can you contact me? Let me know. I've got a couple other program things that I can do, but we have openness. So let me know if you want to do that. And then also, if you have ideas for a speaker who would be really great, let me know that too. I'd like to get the next month or two scheduled in the next couple of days if possible.
That'd be great. I want to hear. I would like to hear from the Hennings train guy. Were we able to connect with them?
I talked to him, and he said his normal presentation is much longer, and he said it was going to be difficult to try to. He just didn't feel comfortable trying to do it in 15 to 20 minutes. He does 45 minutes to an hour, sort of minimum.
Okay. Yeah. That would have been amazing. Larry, do you have a train presentation that you can do? Larry, you're muted. Bad signal. You're still muted.
Larry
Hit your space bar. I know. He's like, oh, don't bring me into this. Go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead.
There's a guy here on campus that's a very active railroading.
Yeah.
And he's a member of the board of directors of the Reading Historical Society, and he does presentations on the trolley systems and this. But I think Mark already talked to him. I think the problem, the same problem. He says
that's the guy who said that. I mean, he was interested, but he said he needed 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah,
he just didn't feel comfortable doing a shorter one.
Okay. All right. Well, if anybody has any ideas, I know when we did classification talks the last few times, we doubled them up. So that could be the meeting for June 2nd. If you have any takers, you could possibly do that on June 2nd, or was that the 16th or 23rd? If those are available, we can always double those up, because we have been having some powerhouse speakers come in, which has been great. But it would be great to reconnect with everybody before we start seeing each other again in person, so we know who that person is, other than just seeing their forehead in the screen. So if we could set up a few classification talks, that'd be amazing. All right, that was it for my announcements. And
Dan, can I chime in?
Go ahead,
Dan?
Lisa.
Hi. Yeah. Hi. You mentioned the whack and roll. As far as times, the first round starts at 8, and I believe the last round starts at 10:40. So if you're interested in coming out and supporting us, it would be anywhere between 8 and noon, but we'll be done before noon. So so those are the times. Next Saturday, the 5th.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be great. Can you email that information over to Marcia? Maybe she could put it in because that's coming up next weekend, right?
I already have it from Rose Moyer over there, because I'm one of the players.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You said you're one of the players?
Oh yeah, Sandy and I are
right.
partners this year, and Lisa's in it. Lisa Rice is in it. Chuck. We have a whole slew of people.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Good luck, guys. And Dean, I see you're giving me the hands up. You're already unmuted. Go ahead.
One thing came to my attention through the JCs. They're running an event this Saturday. If you've seen the signs around town, it's from 3 to 6, and then at 7 o'clock they're going to show a movie at the community center. And they sent me an email that we could set up a table if we want to at that event. I know it's really short notice. I don't know if we want to do that or not. They're going to do some. I think they're going to do some activities for kids.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, you said where was that again?
It's going to be at the Harleysville Community Center.
Community Center this weekend.
This Saturday. They're not doing their normal community fair and all that good stuff.
So no funnel cake. Wow.
No.
All right. Well, I guess if there's anyone, if you were thinking about going, take some flyers with you. We have it. How far in advance do we need to give them for getting a table, or can we just stand out front with the little Harleysville floppy guy?
I think we could just show up.
Okay. All right. So if you guys, if anyone's going, if you can represent Rotary, that'd be great. Richie, I forgot to mention Concert Sunday.
Yes, Concert Sundays is July 4th. I'll be putting together a sign-up sheet so that we can get people signed up to help volunteer for that.
All right. And that is going to be July 4th. So that'll be great. That's a great event we've been doing for years and years. And thank goodness we were able to hold off until COVID was over, or pretty relaxed nowadays. So